This is the wardroom pantry. If you've ever done any recreational camping or cross-country in a fancy RV, you can get a feel for how small this space actually is. Cooking, cleaning, preparing meals. Everything's done on a small scale. But submariners always ate well. We're in the galley where the meals were prepared for the crew. We're going to exit the galley. We're going to head toward the crew's wardroom. Opposite the galley is the scullery. Ooh, scary. Which is just a fancy Navy term for where they did the pots and pans. All the pots, the pans, the dishes, and the cutlery were cleaned in this area. And from what I understand, the food on board the Albacore was pretty good. Rumor has it that Fridays were Lobster Newburg Friday, and there was a secret ingredient. What was the secret ingredient? Cooking sherry, because the boat was dry. No alcohol other than medicinal purposes was used. They would ask for a bottle of sherry, they'd make their Lobster Newburg, and then they would lock it away. And they told the skipper, please don't ask what the secret ingredient is. We're in the area where the crew would spend most of their off time. This is the crew's mess. This is where they would eat their meals, socialize, play a backgammon game, challenge a crewmate to a game of checkers. This is the berthing area for the crew, the enlisted crew. And as you can tell, this is a cramped space. In the front of this frame is the lockers that the crewmen would have put their personal belongings. Turning carefully in a confined space. We're facing the crew's mess. I've crammed myself into this space, the crew's wash area. The crews were limited to fresh water usage, 1 gallon per crewman per day. There are no showers in this area. There's a sink here, there's another stainless steel sink in this compartment, and this is the toilet or the head. The men were required to take bird baths, brush their teeth, wash their hands, wash their face, take care of personal hygiene. 1 gallon per crewman per day. The only people on board this vessel that were allowed to exceed those levels were the cooks. We've made our way aft to the engineering section. Main propulsion and all power for the vessel came from these spaces. We've made it to the aft end of the boat, which brings us to the end of the tour, and coincidentally, that brings us to the close of the program. I'd like to thank the staff and the crew of the USS Albacore for their help in making this video production. That closes this episode of Day Trip to History. I'm Bob Toma. Thank you for watching, and remember, we're all living history right now. Hi, I'm Bob Toma. We're in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. This is Day Trip to History. Don't like that either. We're going to count again. We're not going to say what the title of the show is. One of the designs you'll notice about the USS Albacore is that it has contra-rotating. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One of the things you'll notice about the USS Albacore, this unique design, is that it has contra-rotating. Oh, for the love of God, shoot me now. Contra-rotating. Contra-rotating. Counter-rotating. That's the word I'm looking for. Counter-rotating. Counter-rotating. All right, here we go. The Navy's in... How far did we get? 0.2 seconds. Yeah. This is a typical berthing arrangement on a submarine. You'll notice how cramped it is. About the size of a closet, perhaps. The bunks, or the racks, are stacked vertically. Most submarines worked their shifts around the clock, and the crewmen would have slept in a hot bunk. So you have a day shift, afternoon shift, late night shift, 3 guys working, 2 guys sleeping, 1 guy, no, screwed that up, in 5, 4, 3, it's clear that I don't know what I'm talking about and I just wing as I go along. 5, 4. I'm seated in the officer's wardroom. This is where officers of the ship, start again, it's not a ship, it's a boat. This settee where I'm seated right now can become across from the control room is the navigation chart room. This is where the officers would have guided the direction of the ship, plotted its course, followed its, I don't know what you call it, I'm not a navigation guy. Oh, doink. Make sure we get that in the I'm located in the ship's sonar room. Sonar was the eyes and ear of the... There's more than one ear on a submarine. Rick? Rick? Yeah, it's Bob. Would you get better? I can't do this by myself.